take it away.
Alright, hello everyone, I'm Slosh, or SloshW, doesn't really matter. And this is Sonic Origins All Missions, no DLC. So Sonic Origins is a big old collection of Sonic 1, Sonic CD, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, with a few extra modes sprinkled in for each of the games, like Boss Rush, Mirror Mode, and of course Mission Mode. There are sets of extreme category missions that we will be skipping in this run, as those are only unlockable through DLC. But each of the 4 titles, they don't count Sonic and Knuckles separately, sadly. Each of the 4 titles has sets of different star difficulty missions: 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. The challenges in these missions can vary. I will touch on some of those as we come to them throughout the run. So I think, with that out of the way, I'm going to give a quick countdown, and then we are going to be off. So 5, 4, 3,
Good luck.
2, 1, go. Thank you. So first mission of Sonic 1 is just a simple run through a small portion of Scrap Brain Zone and make sure that you defeat 5 of the Caterpillar enemies. That mission, actually, jumping straight across that gap early on from the 2nd to the 3rd Caterpillar is fairly finicky because of how hitboxes and hurtboxes work with Caterpillars, but it saves a lot of time. At least a lot of time for a 10-second mission, if you can hit it. Some of the missions will be just simply get through something like this as quickly as possible with no extra challenge. I jumped at the wrong time, that's sad, doesn't really matter because of cycles being slow on this stage. This is actually one of the longest missions in the entire run. There's one in Sonic CD that's longer, and I'm not 2 in Sonic CD that are longer. But I'm not actually sure if there are any others that will take longer than 41 seconds. At least off the top of my head, I can't think of any. No, there's auto-scrollers, I forgot about those. Now we've got a simple sort of collectathon run through Marble Zone with invincibility, grab 100 rings, and make it to the end. You know, I made the comment about can't really think of too many missions that are longer than the one that we just did in Spring Yard. This one, I think, is longer. I need to stop making comments about how long certain missions are if I'm going to completely forget about the next mission being longer. But it's very important to make sure that you hit all of the invincibility monitors on this stage, or else you will probably end up losing all your rings at some point. Oh wait, no, that was 40 seconds. Never mind, that was actually a really good reading. Usually that's closer to 45 seconds, so I will definitely take that. And that is the 1-star missions out of the way for Sonic 1. Now we've got 2 stars. I almost said Sonic 2. That's not how this works. I don't remember playing Labyrinth Zone in Sonic 2. Also, Sonic 2 isn't even the second game. See, Sonic CD is the second game in this.
Sonic CD is
what am I talking about?
Maybe the actual second game, but Sonic 2 is a spiritual second game. It has to count for something.
Yeah. I'm going to... Okay, so yeah. In setup, I found if you use the drop dash ability on those ramps, it is significantly faster, just movement speed-wise, than jumping and going straight into a spin dash instead. Dang, that was a little bit of a clunky landing. Yeah, Sonic gets the drop dash ability, which is pretty much you jump and then you hold the jump button down again, and then when you land, he'll go straight into a spin dash. And that is really useful for certain missions. That was a very unfortunate part of that stage. But yeah, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles will be making many appearances throughout this run. I'm going to skip that crab because there are more enemies up here that would be more efficient. I say that and then I just miss, like, all of them. There we go. That's a very finicky mission. Anything that involves beating enemies with Knuckles' glide is iffy. We're back to Scrap Brain now with the first of 4 Mercy missions. So every game's 3-star missions will start with the mission called Mercy, which is pretty much, there's a portion of a stage that you have to play through, and you cannot defeat any enemies. If you defeat any enemies, then it's back to the start. It's a really interesting gimmick that I personally find to be a lot of fun. I also find it funny that in Sonic 1, that mission happens, and then the next mission you have to defeat a ton of enemies. Another instance of just popping the drop dash right at the end to get a nice boost of speed straight to the signpost. Whoa. That's unfortunate. Just gonna pop a spin dash out of the hole. I cannot believe that I did not hit that. So this one is much... nice. This mission is a lot more like a classic sort of Sonic stage. It's not a full stage, but it's a pretty large portion of a stage, and you cannot get hit at all on it because there are no rings anywhere. It's sort of like Sonic 2's Death Egg in that sense, except you don't have to fight Mecha Sonic and a Death Egg robot. You just have to avoid a few badniks. And also not get crushed by some moving blocks up ahead. Pop the spin dash, and then just sort of wait these cycles out. I have been killed by these blocks crushing me, which is always tragic when that happens, because that's very late into the stage, because the signpost is right over here. Alright, next up, I think is, yeah, Swinging Good Time. This is one of my favorite sort of setups in mission mode. Charge a spin dash until that first swing is sort of level with the end of its cycle, and then release, and you'll bonk off one of the piranha bots and get a ton of height and skip straight to the next portion of the stage. This is a stage that I always sort of describe as this plays to me like a really good Mario Maker level. Just the way everything is structured on that stage gives me that vibe. Back to Marble, and we're going to be in Marble Zone for a couple stages in a row for the start of the 4-star missions. Usually don't get hit there. That shouldn't be an issue because pop a spin dash, grab the 1 ring, try and land on the block. Where's that on the cycle? Nice. Something that I forgot to mention while I was in the 3-star missions is this is the case for all of the game's mission modes. There, for 1-star, 2-star, and 4-star, there are 3 missions. But for 3-star, there are 4 missions, and for 5-star, there are only 2. There are also always 3 extreme missions in a game, except for Sonic CD, which only has 2, and the reason for that is each 3-star mission, or each extreme mission in mission mode, uses a different one of the playable characters. So there's one for Sonic, one for Tails, and one for Knuckles. In the original version of the game, Knuckles was not playable in Sonic CD. He is now. He was added as playable in the Sonic Origins Plus expansion that added playable Amy to the main games as well. Unfortunately, Amy will not be showing up at all in this run, but she's here in spirit. Also, I think it's now a good time to touch on the fact that each of the 4 games will have an Eggman fight with a special gimmick as the final 4-star mission. So, in this case, it's the Egg Spiker from Starlight Zone.
That's such a cool mission.
With no floor under the seesaws.
That's such a cool mission.
You can fall through... Pardon? Yeah, I love that one. It is possible to fall directly through one of the seesaws if you time landing from a jump just wrong, like as the mine lands on it. I hate when that Batbot does that. God dang it. But don't ask me how I know that about that seesaw. Yeah, this is one of those, another one of those, you have no rings to get through a portion of the stage, and for whatever reason, one of the Batbots right at the end just occasionally loves to fly up directly into the bottom of my shoes and kill me through my shoes, which is not fun. Now I'm gonna try something that I found out about on this stage yesterday. Okay, that's not gonna work. Yeah, we're taking this slow, please. Give me that, thank you. Okay, so there's a very tight gap that you can jump through between, like, the floor and that enemy. And if you can land it, then if you get hit, the ring is going to be bouncing in a specific way where you can sort of damage boost through the second enemy and go straight just to the elevator portion. Unfortunately, I did not land that and had to take the ending safe. But now we are in Sonic CD. Sonic CD has a pretty nifty little mechanic that is time traveling. And that is what this first mission is all about. So there are going to be the various signposts throughout stages that say either past or future. Hit one of those, go pretty fast for a certain amount of time afterwards, and you will time travel to either the past or the future. All of the stages start in the present, and that is going to be important for a mission later where I'm going to need to travel to both the past and the future, which is going to require going to the past, and then the present, we're back to the present, and then to the future. But we'll worry about that one when we get there. We've got Chibi Sonic here for small stuff. This is one of the longer missions that Sonic CD has to offer, because it's a pretty big portion of Metallic Madness that you gotta weave your way through. I'm very glad that they decided to include a mission that's got the size-changing laser mechanic. I think that that's a really cool touch. Gonna get stuck on that wall because Sonic doesn't want to jump, and away we go to, I think, Wacky Workbench. Yep. This is the easy Wacky Workbench challenge. I say that as I miss a ton of rings. Am I actually gonna have enough off this bounce? The answer is absolutely not, because I just missed like half the rings I was supposed to hit. Let's see if I can't get back over there. Okay, I need 2 more. Of course, I only grab 1. There we go. You know, that mission's called True Trajectory, and my trajectory was not true today. Sheesh, I like spaced that just barely off so many of the rings. Now we've got one of the more temperamental challenges. I need to defeat 10 of these little swimming lobster guys. I need an air bubble, though. It's not going to give me an air bubble. Okay, good. I took a huge gamble there, hoping that there's just going to be an air bubble spawn.
Sonic air bubbles. I don't know what to tell you.
So I've got 9.
That's never not happened to me.
Alright, drop dash into the last enemy. Yeah, that's... Usually it's not that bad on this mission, but I guess it wanted a bit of daring suspense today. Back to Wacky Workbench for Wacky Workbench Special, a slow-paced stage. Got to collect 15 rings and make it to the top, and the only way to make it to the top is these really slow-moving platforms. There is a route. Hopefully I don't actually forget it like I have 17 different times. I think it's... yeah, it's up here. Okay. We are good. Drop dash to the goal. And off to 3-star missions. No, not 3-star missions yet. I keep forgetting that Fast Foes is a 2-star. I always think that it's a 3. But if anyone knows about how Fast Foe Comets from Mario Galaxy works, it's pretty much like that. And top route on that stage is very important for the speedrun because bottom route, kind of slow. I completely forgot what mission I was loading into, so I'm going to just click restart because where the enemies are is kind of important for the movement of this stage. We're back to Mercy, and Sonic CD's Mercy, along with the Mercy in Sonic 2, just sort of decide to randomly kill you if you walk into an enemy, which would not defeat the enemy, even if you have rings. The amount of times that that has happened is kind of infuriating. Back to Quartz Quadrant for another speed-related gimmick. This time the enemies are moving their normal speed, however I have to defeat one pretty much every 5 seconds or so to keep the timer as high as possible. So there's a timer that is 10 seconds that keeps ticking down. Each time you defeat an enemy, then that timer will be replenished. Now we've got Tails, just sort of flying, collecting rings. There is another version of this stage that fortunately we're not going to have to, or rather this mission type that fortunately we're not going to have to play because it is an extreme mission and it is obnoxious. Fortunately though, we get a nice peaceful flight through Palm Tree Panic. And to the goal. That mission was one of the first missions, it might have actually been the first mission shown off in a trailer for Sonic Origins. I know that the trailer that revealed mission mode had that mission there, and I think it was the first one that showed up in it. But now we get a taste of Mirror Mode. We get Mirror Mode, Palm Tree Panic. We have to travel to the past, then back to the present, and then to the future. Fortunately, that little spring and half-pipe thing right at the start of the stage you can utilize to get to the past and then right back to the present pretty much for free. I'm going to drop down, hit this future signpost. Sonic's going to roll down the hill, charge Peel out, go back and forth with those springs, and that is the mission done. I'm going to open my water bottle because I am thirsty, and there's an auto-scroller near the beginning of Sonic 2.
Reminder for everyone to stay hydrated.
Yes. Okay, note to self, never peel out at the start of the stage. I did not know that that enemy was up there because I have never been that high in the air. This is a really bizarre mission because you can collect the 100 rings that you need to clear this, and then you can get hit after the signpost lands, and it will say you didn't clear it, even though the signpost landed because you hit the 100 rings. It's weird. I don't know why it does that. I also don't know why Sonic went so high off those enemies. That's not a big deal. I think I need to drop here. I think there's an enemy down. Yeah, there. This is a big stage, and if I end up missing any enemies, I'm going to end up getting very confused later on as to where the ones I'm missing are, so it's important that I try my best to stick to this one specific route that I have, and I'm sort of going in reverse from what I normally do. And I drop down, there's another one down here, two over here, and then there should be one up here. That is a mission that if I end up going off of my route and like missing one and like getting confused as to where the last one is, thanks for jumping, Sonic, I have lost like a full minute to that collision chaos mission, and now we get one of the Eggman fights of all time. Alright, fight's over. So that fight has a different way of absolutely cheesing it in just regular Sonic CD. And that is just stand behind him when he lands and then hit him 3 times before he can really do anything, because unlike the mission mode version of the fight, there's a gap in between the edge of the screen and where he lands the mech. So you can just like sneak over there while he's landing and then just hit him from behind 3 times real quick before the fight really even starts. It's really funny. Okay, that is maybe the scariest mission in the entire run, so I'm very glad that that went smoothly. Having no rings for that stretch of shenanigans is scary. Also, I've got no idea what's happening this attempt. Wacky workbench things. Nice. Alright. Sonic 1 and Sonic CD are over, so now we're into the back half, and honestly, the back half of this run is definitely my favorite half. I really enjoyed the whole category, but I really, really have so much fun in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles missions. Even though Sonic 2 has a casino night mission, whatever this is, and 2 plane levels, the rest of it makes up for it, and also that went so smoothly. That usually is not a single-digit second stage. The bumpers were friendly today. I'm happy about that. Now we get to the most confusing seesaws in any game ever. Let's see if this seesaw up here wants to work with me. The answer is no. I don't know why it takes an extra hit on that seesaw and that seesaw alone to get enough height. It's kind of confusing. Charge a spin dash and clear the last gap so that way we can just skip a seesaw. Alright. We're at the casino. You have to sit here in the whatever's going on here and grab 5,000 points. So I'm gonna just sit on this bumper and do this. This is significantly faster than the setup that I originally had, which used the red spring, which is a little bit lower. Wait, actually. Oh wait, that's just 10. But I can just do this.
This went by way faster than I thought it would.
Okay. Yeah, that was a stage that early on I was like, I absolutely have to find a way to get through this as fast as possible, because this is so... it gets so repetitive so fast. But now we've got a plane level, and this is the easy plane level,
Hear that,
so I'm
chat?
going to take
Stay
this
hydrated.
opportunity to stay hydrated. I say that this is the easy plane level because there's one in the 4-star mission set where there are even more enemies. The projectiles that they shoot are like 3 times as fast. It's really hard. Also, the way the missions work is there are 4 different ranks that you can get on a clear. There's C rank, B rank, A rank, S rank. The plane levels, because they're auto-scrollers, the rank is based on how many rings you end the stage with. The 4-star plane mission is one of the hardest S ranks to get in the game, in my opinion, because of how many super fast projectiles there are. That one definitely took me longer than almost any other stage to get S rank on, but now we're supersonic. Another stage that's actually ranking on it is based on how many rings you have at the end, because supersonic, while he is super fast, has a super good jump, and is invincible, each second you are super, you will lose 1 ring. So, getting S rank, you do have to go very fast, but you also have to make sure that you are picking up enough rings to sort of replenish your ring count, so that way you can stay over 70 rings by the time you get to the end if you really want an S rank. This Oil Ocean Mercy stage is sort of the first stage that really made me realize, hey, I should be using the drop dash in mission mode speedruns. I feel like that could save a lot of time throughout just the entire run, because each little bit of time save that a drop dash gives adds up to a lot in the long run. Sonic, please jump, my guy. Back-to-back Oil Ocean missions, and then we won't be seeing it again. Sometimes Sonic likes to get silly here. Oh, that was a nice bounce off the last enemy. I've never had that happen before. It just propels me almost to the height I need to get up to the platform. Tails Doggy Paddle Challenge. We get to swim. This is another mission theme that has an extreme variant. Fortunately, we won't be seeing it in this run, but there's an extreme version on Chemical Plant, and that stage is a monster. That one is, in my opinion, easily the hardest mission in the entire game. Tails is gonna slip off that platform, which is fine. Fortunately, the Aquatic Ruin variant is not that hard. It's more just like, it's long. So you need to really make sure that you're staying aware of where all of the air bubble spawns are. Alright, not going to die in a super silly way at the very beginning of this stage, like I am prone to doing. Don't ask me why, it just sort of happens. Really not too much to this mission, it's just some basic good old platforming for a nice little straightaway. And now we get to what is probably, in my opinion, the hardest difficulty set in the no DLC version of the category. Not one of the 5-star sets. Sonic 2 4-star is brutal. Charger, spin, dash, jump. Wait for this guy to shoot all of his fireballs. Get this one to do the same. Wait for that guy to move. I don't know why that, whatever kind of robot that is, has been crawling over the hole. But the first time I saw that happen, I ended up jumping and dying right at the end of the stage, and that lost me a sub 40 run, which is a big goal of mine in this category, so I'm still kind of salty about that. But now we got hard plane. There is something kind of funny about the way the plane tracking where Sonic is works. It is possible if you like, I don't even know how to describe what it is you have to do, but if you do a certain bit of movement off one of the turtles, I don't know if it's the wrong way or the right way. I should be dead. You can fall off the plane if you time something with landing on a turtle and running off it just barely wrong. I found that out at the end of the stage, like a minute in, so hopefully that doesn't happen here. I think it was actually this turtle on the bottom that did that to me, so I'm gonna go around the top. I have no idea how I didn't die earlier in that stage. Like, no rings for that segment should have spelled disaster. Alright, now we get probably the hardest Eggman fight in the run. Eggman Blue Beam. Has anyone ever wanted to fight the chemical plant boss really sped
No, that's
up?
always been my dream as a
me
child,
neither.
to fight the chemical plant Eggman really sped up, I guess? That was my dream as a child.
You know, I joke about that mission, but that is actually one of my favorites in the game. It's really hard, so for me, like, whenever I can get a really good clear of that fight, it always feels so satisfying. Thank you, Tails, for hitting that Firefly. So that is a neat little mission because you have to guide Tails to the end of the stage without him getting hit, which we all know Tails, that can be a chore. But it is actually, Tails behaves himself a lot more on that mission than it seems like he probably would. Let's see if this last set of arrow dispensers decides to just shoot an extra set for no reason. Nice, it didn't. Okay, one set of missions remains. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic 3 and Knuckles mission mode, no DLC, is probably my most played category in anything Sonic related. So this is like my comfy, cozy portion of the run. Unfortunately, we don't get Sandopolis zone more than just this mission right here, and I say unfortunately because Sandopolis is my favorite zone. But, and this mission goes by very quickly. It's just grab 20 rings and make it to the end of a fairly short stretch of stage. That might have been an ILPB. I'm not sure if I've ever gotten it. I think I've gotten a 9, but it's really hard. Okay. Kind of wanted to focus on that mission because that was starting out to be a really, really fast reading of that stage. I really wanted to make sure that I could show off the most optimal way to climb with Knuckles. Now, can't remember if this is I think that this is the first instance of an elemental shield in the run. It won't be the last. So Lightning Shield gives you a double jump, and if you're Sonic, and also magnetizes rings to you. So pretty much, you grab the Lightning Shield, you run through the stage, you grab 25 rings, and then you make it to the end. The other elemental shields will be showing up before long. There's a stage coming up where we are going to have to juggle the Bubble Shield, Fire Shield, and Lightning Shield. Also, I do not understand the timing to get the high jump off these clouds. It's very, very finicky. It only really matters on the 10th cage. There we go. If I had gotten the first high jump, I might have actually not had the height, so that might have actually been a bad thing if I had landed that. Thanks, controller. Sometimes my controller does not want to scroll down. We already did that mission. We're going to Tails Balloon Burst in Lava Reef. This was another one of those stages that very early on in learning the mission mode categories, I was like, I have to find a route to make this stage go by faster. And honestly, once I like learned the different balloon spawns, like where they are sprinkled throughout the stage, it became a lot more reasonable to route something out. Final Mercy mission.
It wasn't mentioned at all,
run.
but that pose that Tails did whenever the mission was done, that was so cute.
Yeah, Tails has such a great stage clear.
I've like never
pose
seen
in
it.
Sonic
I'm not gonna
Knuckles.
lie. I've never played a solo Tails in that game.
Alright, here we go. Carnival Night. There's no Barrel of Doom in this version, but there are a lot of elemental shields. Bubble Shield prevents Sonic from drowning and gives him the Bubble Bounce. Fire Shield makes him immune to... Okay, I guess I still have the Fire Shield. Makes him immune to fire and also gives him the Fireball Dash, which is going to be coming up in another mission. Not the next one, but the one after. We gotta go to Hydro City, or as I like to call it early on in my time speedrunning this category, Time Lost City Zone, because I would always get hit here. And you need to collect 50 rings before you make it to the end, and getting hit, you lose all your rings and lose a bunch of time, and it was not a good time before. Fortunately, I learned a good route. Those... I don't even know what they are, supposed to be like flies or something. Those enemies are very brutal. Now we get to really let the Fireball Dash from the Fire Shield shine here. Okay, Sonic's just not going to use it. Cool, that's fine. There's a backup rooster right up here. And Sonic almost didn't dash again. Sonic, please Fireball Dash. Okay, so that mission was defeat 5 of each of the enemy types with the Fireball Dash active. So just doing a simple jump was not going to cut it. This was maybe my favorite mission to route out. Big old portion of Angel Island Zone. Have to find the 15 Rhinobots sprinkled throughout it and defeat them all. So it's kind of like a collectathon mission in a way, except you're not collecting things, you're defeating things. It's... If a collectathon included a hedgehog committing acts of violence. Grab this swing, fly up here. Of course this guy's gonna do that to me because he loves doing that to me. Alright. Water Shield Challenge. I keep forgetting that this stage is here. This is a stage that also just sort of perplexes me, because there's an enemy right at the end, one of those little orb guys with the spiky balls around him. And I will spin dash at him. I always spin dash at him. And sometimes I win that fight, and other times I don't. And I won the fight that time. I do not understand what makes me win or lose that fight. I never have, and I doubt I ever will. Now we've got the final Eggman fight of the run. It's just the Mushroom Hill fight, but with a lot more of these spikes to evade. I need to be very careful now because I have no rings. I don't know why I did that. That was... I think I was one hit away, too. I missed one of the hits with the Insta Shield. Okay, there we go. That is the other really hard Eggman fight. The back half of the run definitely has the more difficult Eggman fights, in my opinion. But now we only have 2 missions left, and the first of those 2 is an auto-scroller. So this ship, I don't know if it's Flying Battery or not. It doesn't look like how Flying Battery looks in Mushroom Hill when it's flying by, but I mean, honestly, like, does Eggman actually have 2 of these airships in one game? I don't know. But it's going to drop a bunch of enemies. We need to defeat 10. It'll drop a total of 11. If you miss 10 of them, the level is not over. It will come by again and drop more, so that way you're not soft locked. However, that's slow. And now we got the last mission, Speedy Swim. Time will be when I hit the signpost on this stage. This is another mirror mode mission, and another mission that is the rank is marked by rings and time.
I didn't expect you to be done so fast, because like that run just
Thank you.
It started really fast and it just didn't stop.
Yeah, this may be like my most played area of Sonic Origins, but it usually doesn't go that well.
It was about a 40:04. So like
what
barely missing
was
stuff.
my time, by the way? I threw it to Eggman. That is a PB. That is a PB. That
Double
by
GGs.
about 12 seconds. Yeah, 40:04. My PB before was a 40:16. Yeah, now I'm kind of annoyed because, like, that mishap on the last Eggman fight was completely avoidable. I am still very happy with that. Being able to PB a category this long in a marathon feels so good.
Yeah, especially because I know you mentioned it before. You've never like been an opener for a marathon before, so like
Yeah.
getting a PB as the opener in a marathon is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely GG's.
Thank you. I'm gonna real quick give a few shout outs and then I will sign off. Shout outs to the Classic Sonic speedrunning community. Just for being so awesome and so encouraging. Trying to grind down Amy Rose ILs has been a lot of fun with everyone there. Shout outs to NorthWest SpeedFest for having me and giving me the awesome opportunity to open the marathon with one of my absolute favorite speedrun categories I've played. This was an absolute blast. Shameless plug, I stream Sonic and indie games and sometimes Monkey Ball over at twitch.tv/SloshW. So if you enjoyed this run, I do stream a fair amount of Sonic Origins. And yeah, I think that is everything from me. Once again, thank you so much to everyone
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
NorthWest SpeedFest for
And
having
with
me.
that,
This was a
we're going to be
blast.
going to a break. We're going to be gone for about a few minutes, and we'll be coming back with Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, run by Arcania. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Goodbye.